Hey everybody, welcome to the Brnkage podcast. My guest today is Sandeep Kumar, the fastest Indian straight up. When it comes to long distance races around 100 kilometers, he's one of the elites. He has been a winner in practically every Indian race he has competed in. He has also represented India in many international championships, including one of his best achievements, the Comrades Ultra Marathon run in South Africa, where he ran for 90 kilometers in merely 7 hours 30 minutes. He has also been felicitated by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi for his extraordinary contribution and achievements in sports. And that's not it, he's also a sports coach and a vegan activist, which means he has done all this on a plant-based diet. Sandeep is a fascinating human being and a humble master of mental toughness. So without further ado, let's get after it. How you started? Let's start from there. Like nobody gets up early in the morning and think about running thousands of kilometers, right? So,
Yeah,
and how much kilometer you would have ran in your like this whole journey? What do you think, approximately?
uh, approximately, I think if I count every year, it's like 7,000 kilometers. So it
Oh,
has been like more than 50,000 kilometers I've run till date.
50,000.
Yeah. So
That's so crazy,
for me,
man.
like the day I achieve like 1 lakh kilometers, it's not a target, but it will
Yeah.
be something. That many kilometers I've ran, and someday I will calculate. Yeah, sitting on the couch and getting old. Yeah, I could have traveled through the entire world with this many kilometers, or I would have covered the periphery of the earth for this much. So it's like a fantastic journey. So we are building every day on the kilometers,
Yeah.
and that is not intentional, but because we do train. Like I'm an athlete, so I train myself.
Right.
So I train myself not to attain kilometers in my bag, but to get the performance, right? So that is the byproduct: kilometers,
Yeah.
then mileage, then hours, then speed, pace, everything, heart rate. It comes like that is a byproduct.
Yeah. And I've done so many podcasts and I've never been this much excited before doing any podcast because the because of the things you're doing out there. It's so
Yeah,
fascinating. And as you know, like I was looking forward to this from a long time. So I'm so glad that
yeah. I
finally you
was
are
also
here
waiting. Yeah,
and we are having this conversation.
yeah, yeah.
So as we were talking earlier, like what drives you? Like what you have this you come from this very humble background, right?
Yeah.
So we can talk a little bit about that and what is this from where do you get this fire inside you which you use to uh, like what's your fuel? I'm trying to get like apart from diet and all that, what's your psychological fuel? Where do you drive this energy?
So now I will reach the Bola. It's like ultimately coming to the freedom. So as a human, I know that I'm enough capable. I'm free to do whatever I want to do. But that freedom is giving me some responsibility to do something very much on the measurement level, and so that I can define myself in some terms that who I am. So the role itself has to be fascinating, and it should be exciting to me as well. So
Hmm.
I want to utilize my freedom. Like if I am free like for 24 by 7 or 24 hours I got. So in a day, what I will do. So I will utilize that, like, yeah, I am outdoor, I'm free from everything. Like when I'm running, I feel unburdened. There is nothing behind me. Like I'm carrying some stress of my life. I'm somewhere in the middle of thinking like some financial issues. I'm managing some relationship, or some work related issues are there, or I'm just fighting with the environment, or I'm just figuring out how I will manage my entire life or this way or that way. But when I'm on the run, I feel that all these obstacles, all these limitations, all these worries are never
Hmm.
with me. So that keeps me relaxed, and then as you said that as a human, like it makes us human. So that I feel like coming in the original form. being a person, being a human, and being a soul, right? So I'm directly linked to my soul. Otherwise, in this world, the whole day we do something, something, and we are never looking inside of us. We are just thinking,
Hmm.
yeah, just thinking about the extrinsic world. They have to get work, they have to go, they have to plan a meeting, they have to see my clients, they have to take some follow-ups, they have to train, they have to feed myself, and so always you are lacking to get time for
Hmm.
yourself to utilize that freedom. So you are never we are never free then too, right? So we are always occupied. If you see in the entire our life cycle, when we are exactly free, how much time? So we feel free only when we are on the vacation, right?
Right.
We just see that
I
yeah,
mean,
3 4 days we are spending time
so
in the
it's kind of
resort,
a
on the beach, and the
daily
mountain, or
vacation for
trekking.
you
Right?
from your.
So for me, like it's a daily pump, daily like I just want it every day. So I
Hmm.
want my freedom back every day in the morning, evening, whatever time. So for me, I adapt it like a full time thing, and it make me like complete. And it I never think like yeah I wish to do that, but I'm not able to do that.
Hmm.
So there is no gap between my expectation and what I want to achieve in my life or the journey I want to have.
Hmm.
So enjoying the freedom, keeping it like very basic and original is my all-time motto, and that gives me a lot of satisfaction.
So fascinating. Uh, Can you talk to me a little bit about your journey and
So
how
I
you
have a journey.
started?
I don't know. It's yeah. I absolutely. I love talking about this thing, and even myself also. It's very motivating. Yeah, even though today I'm doing something,
Yeah,
so I
just seeing
always
like
look back
looking
because
back
I
like from
don't.
where you have came from and
Yeah, yeah. Even people say that you don't look back because you have to move forward. But for me, like from where I started, how I started, and why I started, that is actually more motivating, and that keep let me push it ahead.
hmm.
So I was born in a village in Haryana, right? So there, like other children, I was always involved in the some sport or playing here and there, playing kho, kabaddi, and going to the fields for the river bath, or just climbing the trees to get mangoes
Right.
and all. So that was a day-to-day ritual. We start our day in the morning, have some breakfast, and we just go outdoors. We don't know where we are going, how many kilometers far, which
Hmm.
river, which field, and whose field, and when we'll be coming back. But when we'll be coming back, it will be already down. So that was like initial. I would say that from there I started, and from there I got the habit and this addiction of going outdoors.
Yeah.
So I know that if I'm buying a fruit, and when I'm plucking a fruit from the tree, what is the difference? I'm having so many options. So when I'm
Yeah.
diving a pool in the city, and when I'm diving in the river, and the live river stream is there, it's like Yamuna is just coming, from its source, and you see the live water flowing. So the current is so high, and you dive into that, and you come out, and you catch a breathe and look around,
Yeah.
and then it challenges you every time, and you again think that whether you should go inside or not.
Yeah.
So so that motivates. So today also, like when I started doing all this thing, and uh, I'm not any extraordinary person in terms like I'm just a normal guy meeting up the family's requirement and their
Hmm.
expectations. Like I should be doing a job, I should be doing medicals and or in engineering field, or I should be catching this thing. And so that's why I did my engineering, and everything got stopped during those days. And once I started my job, it has been like I was just sitting on the desk and working in the concrete building, and the life I dreamed of, like I'll be enjoying throughout my career or the young age, or the enjoyment I seek for, that was far away. So when working in the office like 10 hours, 12 hours or something, I always feel that when I will get rid of this, the dead life. Now, there is nothing, right? You just go out for a breakfast and lunch, and then you go home, have dinner and sleep, and the entire day you just work, and next day also you dress up and you go to the work. So after certain year, I decided that no, this is not my lifestyle. This is not the way I should be living my life. And I'm very much confident in my skills that whether whatever I wish to do, I can do that. So I believe in the human potential, and I had belief in my own skills also. So from there, I started my running again, and then after a year, I was running very good. I got in shape, and that made me determined that yeah, you are on the right path. So
When you're working in a job, so you
yeah,
started working out, or you were already working out from your childhood?
I was working out since my childhood, and I did nothing when I started my job, engineering job, and late in some MNC, and then after certain years, I was just sitting idle and then working and building my career,
Okay.
giving full time to that, learning and then
Mm.
uh, meeting that corporate expectations. And after 7 8 years, then I started going out, like doing some gym, yoga, a little bit of running, but that didn't work. I was not able to connect with myself. I was not able to see that same kind of engagement with myself. So I
Mm.
started long distance running then. So once I started long distance running, I was feeling detoxed mentally and physically. I was feeling relaxed, and I was just thinking, yeah, I'm going in the right direction. I don't
Mm.
stop now. So after doing all this stuff, then I was building again on myself. I was working on everything like nutrition part, strength and conditioning, endurance, and I was not leaving any stone unturned at that time. So
Mm.
from there, like it was 2014, I started resumed my training, and within a year of 2015, I started making benchmark for myself, and in 2017, I ran a good ultra marathon internationally, and from there, I got good accountability to myself, and I got good reputation in the ultra running community, and that was the first step. So
Mm.
I decided to continue in that and making a career.
So in 2014, you ran this Surat night marathon. So was that your first
Yeah,
marathon?
right. That was my first marathon, actually.
And
And barely I ran in 2 hours, 2 minutes, and
how
that
much
was such a
kilometer it was?
slow half marathon, 21 kilometers.
21 kilometers. Okay.
Yeah,
So what was your kind of mental state when you launched into your
I,
first, like?
I was very excited. I was very excited
Uh-huh.
when I stepped into for that is 21 kilometers. I was not knowing the challenge, how, you know, what kind
You
of
were
this 21
ignorant of
kilometer
the
will
like
be. I was
what's
just,
coming, right?
yeah, I was just enjoying. Yeah, I'll be on the start line. I will be
Mm.
meeting so many people. I will be running along. There will be so much, cheer up. I will get to taste different drinks, and then there will be some party after the end of the run and the
Wow.
celebrations. And people will be once again hugging each other. So I was excited for that. But when the run started after fifth kilometer, I was feeling very hard. Till fifth kilometer, I was just crying and like a free bird. So
Mm.
I was enjoying it totally. So after that, it started hitting my legs and I feeling little bit hard. Then I still carried on like 10, 15 kilometer. And after 15 kilometer, it was definitely so hard that I was just shaking. I was just
Yeah.
feeling that, how I have to complete it, or how if I started, then, I was having will that if I started and go to the finish line. So definitely I did, but it was a mixed kind of khatta meetha experience, I would say. So I enjoyed that, and it gives me a lot many insights regarding my physical capacity on the time, and what kind of training I should do in the future. So yeah, that was the first event in
So
2014.
from there it started, and then how you got an opportunity to go on these international runs, because to give a glimpse to the audience like who this guy is. He's one of the
Yeah,
fastest ultra marathoner of India, right? And you have
yeah,
been through so proud, man. So, and you have been to many countries.
yeah. I represented 4 or 5
Yeah,
times
you have
in
represented
different
India.
countries.
And
Yeah.
so, what was your first? Uh, visit abroad? Like, what was that race? Was it in South
So
Africa, as far as I know?
yeah, yeah, it was in South Africa. There is very famous ultra marathon, and it's not very famous; it's the most famous. So who are doing ultra marathon? It's a road race, and people usually like to finish it. So that we call the name of the race is the Comrades Ultra Marathon. So it happens in South Africa. So 1 year it's like 87-kilometer course. So race start from Durban and it goes to Pietermaritzburg. So it's like 87 kilometers, and it's like hilly, like in the mountains, little bit, and goes up, and ends there.
Okay.
So next year it's reverse. So that year it will start from Pietermaritzburg and come down to Durban.
Hmm.
So initially with hilly, but later on it's like all down. So that tests your different skills, like different skills of running, different strengths in your body, different area and the muscles you what training you have done. So coming training part is very different. So now, so for me that was the first exposure, like in the entrance race, and I was very much excited. So initially, like the first 3 kilometers, like 30-40 kilometers, I kept my patience and I was very cool. I was knowing this is a big race, and I was very well prepared for that race. I was knowing, yeah, that is my first ultra marathon overseas, and I should be doing in a proper way. I was very well trained, despite of the heat and humidity and bad weather conditions in the western India. So I stay in Surat mostly, so it's very hot and humid. The people who are in Mumbai, they might relate with that place. So when during that run, that race, that was my first exposure. Still, I did that, in 8 hours 26 minutes, and for that, for time being, I made a good course record from Indian side, and that gave me like it was very addictive, the feel of the race, and then the brotherhood, the camaraderie, and what not means everything was there. It was so fulfilling. So I decided to come back once again and do the down run. So that
Hmm.
first year it was up run, then it's like down run. So that year, next year also went back, did the down run. So that Comrades Ultra Marathon was my first ultra marathon overseas,
Hmm.
and it was a unique experience.
Yeah. And then recently, like in 2021, you have made this new national best for the distance where you ran in Bangalore for 7 hours 56 minutes and you completed 100 kilometers.
Yeah, 100 kilometers.
how
Like
how
it's
how the
a
hell like somebody puts like his mind onto like now I'm gonna run 100 kilometers like because in foreign countries the sports of ultra marathon is has become very famous, so for them it has become a little bit normal, things like this running 100 kilometers 200 kilometers, right? But in India this start like this sports is just catching up, not even like most of the people don't even know like it exists, right? So for like speaking on behalf of Indians who are listening to this, how you set your mind towards like I'm gonna run 100 kilometers.
see. I'm very much truthful and transparent to do these things. I wanted to represent my country somewhere, so I already started doing ultra marathon.
Hmm.
So I was just looking for the opportunities where I can go, and whatever it takes, whatever the to meet the opportunity, whatever it takes, whatever training and mental strength it will be needing, I will fulfill. So the first opportunity in front of me, it was just to go for 100 kilometer World Championships in Croatia. So just after my comrades run. So I got qualified on the basis of comrades run, and that was my first 100 kilometer overseas also, and was representing country. So thereafter I was looking, I was just in my body and mind. Only one thing was there. if I call some event an ultra marathon and I want to run a perfect race, and there I see the possibilities, that is 100-kilometer distance. So from there I started building up, and again I have to qualify for Asian Championships and World Championships. So the last year in January, I was there in Manali, so I was training over there a bit on the high altitude and cold climate and in the hilly terrain. So that was quite challenging. I felt a little bit ready, and I just thought that let me give it a try and let me check on what level my fitness is right now. I was not fully ready. I didn't taper for the race. I was not so relaxed actually, but still I wanted to give it a try. I was there, and one of my friend, like Lieutenant Commander Vinod Jai, was just my close guy. So he also wanted that I run the race the next day after him. So I ran and I made the national record. So that was a very humble opportunity and a great experience, I would say. And from
And the
there,
weird thing is like you weren't looking forward to break any record or something like that, right?
yeah,
That
actually, I was there just to run, means,
hmm.
and it happened. And it happened because I was focusing in the moment. I was not thinking long term. So when we focus on the long journey, somewhere
Hmm.
we are just thinking, yeah, I have to go 200 kilometer. Even you drive to somewhere, you just say that, yeah, 500 kilometer. Okay, I have to take 5 breaks every 100 kilometer. So definitely body wants some relaxation. You want to slow down. So for me, that day was very different. I was just focusing on the hour thing, or every 10 20 kilometers. So I was just managing my pace, my nutrition, my recovery time, and my mental setup in that view only. Yeah, I'm in this moment. I have to finish this many kilometers up to this time. The next level I'll be going. So from there, I felt that I'm becoming like a 100-kilometer expert.
You
So
certainly are,
now if
man.
I do, yeah, if now thing is like that, if somebody like asks me to come and run for 100 kilometer, I will say, yeah, give me just 10-15 days. I will be there and we will run 100 kilometers. So
Yeah.
that's like quite enjoying part. Like first 20, 30, 40 kilometer, your body doesn't mind. You are still fresh and you
What's
feel like,
the
yo, yeah,
longest distance you have run?
just I ran like 12 hours, and in 12 hours I ran 121 kilometers.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you are fond of kind of setting these audacious goals.
Yeah, actually.
The
Yeah,
unique thing
that too.
about ultra marathon and what makes you unique is like ultra marathon, and we talked about like we're gonna use this concept of running ultra marathon as a metaphor for life, right?
Yeah.
Because it is like life, right? Because ultra marathon is kind of in a way, it seems like from the outside like it's all about physicality or physical strength, but only runners know that at some point of time your body just breaks and it becomes very much like in life. It very much becomes about psychology and the endurance you have and the way you're mentally designed, right? It becomes about mindset, and in some point of time then mind also starts breaking, right? And then
Yeah.
you get your energy from who knows what source. So so let's let's start from setting these audacious goals, how you think about that, and when you have this goal in mind, so how do you tackle them, right?
See, for me, running is a very comprehensive thing. Like it fulfills my entire life. It fulfills my bucket in all aspects, and I feel satisfied with my day.
Hmm.
The way I live my life through running. So then too, but I'm very much competitive, and I run behind creating something and putting some milestones, because if you are not putting some milestones or not crazy about goals, or some targets, or make putting some records. You are just you are happy with yourself spending time outside. But the kind of resources you put, the kind of I would say sacrifices you make, the kind of pain you feel for the performance, and even some in some training. So in just in compensation of that, we have to be like putting some milestones or goals. Otherwise, it's like putting the shoes and burning on the road and eating a lot of food and hydrating yourself, and then just crying throughout the day that I did so much of training, and for whom, to show to whom, for what purpose? If the same thing I do for some concrete goal in a focused approach, the same amount of time, same amount of resources, money, travel, and sometimes we avoid the kind of outings also. We have to sleep on the time, to wake up in the morning on the right time. So many things you do, right? So in the compensation, if we put some goals and do in a proper and structured way, then results will be coming. So to get the results, we have to be that smart and conscious. Yeah, I will be also adding up the result milestone, not just the happiness and the freedom. I want this result thing also, and the ranking thing also, and like putting up some milestones also. So that makes you compete then, because see, at last you are competing with yourself, you're bettering yourself. But bettering in what sense? So that you can show other people also that yeah, you can improve this much, right? So this way we can motivate and we can help load many other people also to improve themselves, right? Otherwise, just running for myself and in my own zone, right? So that won't serve that bigger purpose. That will be just limiting to me only.
Hmm. So amazing. So you have said like I talk to myself a lot during a run.
Yeah,
So what's that conversation looks like? Like what do you say to yourself? Like for example, when uh, you're at 60 kilometers, 70 kilometers, right? And your whole body is breaking down. So uh, what's that internal conversation looks like? Do you have some uh, phrase or some quote or some mantra you repeat to motivate yourself? Like how it goes on? Like what's your psychology?
so I describe it like when pain is happening and it's getting very tough. So I just tell myself, oh darling, I was just waiting for you to hug, so come on.
Wow.
So it's like
Wow,
that
man.
only, right? Every time we know that after 60, 70 kilometers
Like
that
you were
feeling
just
is going
waiting
to
for it
come.
to happen, huh?
You are just waiting for that, nothing else. So when we start running, we are very playful and just running like kids and having fun,
Hmm.
smiling and all that. And then you start, you feel that your glycogen stores are depleting.
Yeah.
So that moment, it makes different sense. So
Hmm.
there it starts like burning your body. Your legs are itching and your hands are paining. Your lungs are tiring. So that time you will
Hmm.
always feel that yeah, this is the time now. I was waiting for this moment. Now we have to start again. So this is a different chapter in today's run. So
Huh.
chapter season one is over. Season two has started. So I
Hmm.
have to finish the season two. So this is season two episode, and I have to finish it.
So like
Yeah.
it's such a fascinating way of looking at that. So
Yeah.
so when your body based, so you start relying on your mind, right? And what about
Yeah.
like when your mind starts giving up? Like I was reading one of the article about you, and there was
Yeah.
this thing that while on these huge runs, on these ultra runs, people start becoming delusional and they like start feeling lost right during the like
Yeah.
while they are on this run. So
Yeah.
This is the same feeling when people get when they set these goals and when they are on these goals. So there comes a point where you start feeling hopeless and whatnot because
Yeah,
things are not going your way. So
yeah.
how do you handle that?
So I always think about the finish line when I'm going to start.
Hmm.
So I always think that yeah, finish is going to happen. That is a sure thing. So I have to just match the dots. So point A to point B I have to go. So this much of time is there, this much of distance is there, and
Okay.
this is the process, this is the journey.
Hmm.
So whatever kilometer I am at, I know that is going to happen, and I will be standing at some mark at some point of time. See, doing an ultra marathon is all mental game. You cannot train for 100 kilometers. So you have to repeat a cycle of high mileage, then letting your body know the impact of this thing, and how you can manage the stress throughout. So if we I'm talking about like I'm talking to myself and uh, just exchanging thoughts with my mind, and something mind is reciprocating with the body, and sometimes body is just asking for some favor and mind is not authorizing that, accepting that. So that way, that is also one kind of training we do in the process. So when in a race, like there is no option like giving up and feel like, yeah, today is also normal day. Just
Hmm.
relax and we'll be going back home and we'll be happy. No, that day you have to perform. So there are different tricks. Like you just engage with your mind and body. You let it come on some certain understanding,
Okay.
and then with that adjustment you plan your race, go with some pace or the effort and
Hmm.
finish it off, right? So that your mind and body both are happy and you enjoy the race as well, and you
Yeah.
get decent kind of performance.
Hmm.
And sometimes there is no option, like our body is like a child, our mind is like a parent. So
Hmm.
my body will start crying, so mind knows that this is not time to entertain this child, so ignore it. So during that time, the mind starts not giving priority to body, not to listen. He knows that body is in the safe zone, it's not going to be like that big heart, or it won't collapse. Okay, so it will start engaging in different things, like having a different thought about somebody else, judging somebody who is running on the track, or looking at some colors, or just making yourself feel that yeah, everything is going good. And uh, because perception is everything what we believe in, or mind reads what we perceive, right? So to let the good perception go into the mind, we always think through the better sides. So we look for the better sides. Yeah, this guy is doing so well. Is I'm also feeling good. I reached so much of kilometer, and look at the lights. I look at the listen to the music. Wow, this is good music. So pair up with someone who is running, and also just feel that the condition I am, everybody else is there, right? I'm not a it's not any uniqueness with me, or I am not just the left out person. So everybody is struggling, not me only. So just make it normal, man. Come on. So you have to just carry on. So hang on. So there's many a kilometer you hang on, and when you'll be just around your finish line 10, 20 kilometer, you have to just finish it off. That the business has to get over. So ideally, in between like these races and getting experience, we get to know on what kilometer what will be happening, and how we have to tackle our body and mind. So that is another way. Like either you go into the zone, you just mix up your mind and body and get something out of it. If that is not working, then you have to ignore the pain, and you have to see a positive side and just carry on. Because anyhow, by whatever means, you have to be moving, you have to be running, you have to keep the pace of the race. You have to be on your goals. Like every kilometer you have to match up your goal, race goal timing. So if you will be like you're not cranking up like 410 pace or 430 pace or 440 pace, and you know that you are leaving behind your target or leaving behind your competition, then that will be very hard for the body as well and the mind as well. to compensate in the later stage. So we know it. So that's why uh, safety is there. That like we just handle ourselves, manage ourselves in the best way, mentally and physically.
If I ask you to describe your relationship with pain and suffering in one phrase, so what would you say?
See, it's very unique for individuals. For me, I would say pain is the motivation. Pain is the fuel.
Mhm.
And
How is so?
if you try something, which is
Yes.
not so normal, so it will let you go in the discomfort, and pain will come because mind and body will exist it in the beginning. So we know that if we are doing something very good, or we are going to start something which is uh, not so common, right?
Mm.
And that is going to make a that is going to lead me to the benchmark. So it will be really painful, and the more painful it is, that describes that more hard it is, and more unachievable for the people who are just looking for the comfort and who are looking for the convenience, right? So everything demands like you have to put certain ratio of sacrifices. You have to bear up some pain, and that relates and that lead you to the some achievements. So to achieve something in life, you have to accept the pain and make it a part of your soul system, and that itself has to go like, yeah, this much of pain, this much of achievement. If I want to achieve more, I have to bear up more. I have to put a little bit of more sacrifices. But in again, I would say that the pain has to be very sweet, right? It's not to be damaging your body and mind. It's not to be like a trauma, right? And it has to be progressive, because once you reach some limit of your pain threshold, you have to relax down. Again, you build up from there and reach up to the another pain threshold. So that last pain threshold, the last peak of your pain becomes normal to you. So your body and mind adjust to that, and you don't feel like suffering. It's an enjoyable thing for you then. So you change your pain thresholds, and the same way, and against that pain threshold, we get to get the bigger achievement.
Right.
So it's definitely going to be hard if you want to do something achievable in our life.
Yeah. Why I was so excited to talk to you is like it's not just because of you have achieved these audacious goals, although that was one factor.
Yeah,
I wanted to know like how your mind works, and but another reason is like you live your life in this very fascinating holistic way, and it's not just about running. uh, you kind of take care of your mind, body, soul at the same time, and you're very uh, high on taking care of your diet, and you follow this plant based diet, which in
yeah,
India I think like it's very rare to find anybody who's like totally on
yeah,
running hundreds of kilometers on plants, because we have since
yeah,
childhood we have been told that you can't get this much energy from plants or whatnot, right? You have to eat meat and blah blah blah.
yeah,
So this whole like mind body soul connection, and why vegan, why plant based, like how all this connects with running and with life. Talk to me about that.
yeah, yeah. So when you're growing up, like when somebody is at 25 of age, right? So he's having his bucket list is very small. He has to do a very few things up, depending upon his understanding, because we are not that much aware and educated, or you don't know about much about the world, and even our
Hmm.
own potential and own level of satisfaction, happiness, and kind of goal we can put for ourselves. But when we grow, we look for the same thing you have to do, but you keep on adding something else. Yeah, I want to do this thing also, you want to do this thing also. Every year, every 6 months, you keep on adding something. So you want to be bettering yourself on the human level also. You want to be bettering yourself on the physical level, mental level, social level, and everywhere. You just see that, yeah, in that frame, am I doing my best, or am I a decent guy? Or if I compare myself, uh, if I hope that I'm not leaving out something which is very good in terms of like being good. And I should, if I can do that, I should start doing it. So when you grow up, age is just again, next birthday, next birthday, next birthday, next year, next year, next year, next
Yeah.
weather change. And at the same time you feel that, yeah, last winter you did this winter has come again, so what you did in the last year. So that way I always feel that updating myself, upgrading myself as a human. And see, I've been working since years. I've been running since so many years. So what else? So running has been integral part, but not like the 100% part. So morning, evening I do run. The rest of the day, the night, the evening, the time before running, time after running, the 11 o'clock, noon, afternoon, after lunch, dinner, what I do. So I have to fill my life with good things, right? So then it comes to the food. Yeah, if I am I feeding myself in a good food, and what is the intention behind that food? Wow, why I'm consuming that food? Is that giving my body enough energy and nutrition? Okay, that is one thing. And is that food is giving me happiness as well? My mind is also getting fulfilled. And
Hmm.
once I look at the
Oh.
food, it gives me a feeling like, yeah, I'm getting something. It's just not feeding my mind, not feeding my body. It's also feeding my mind, right? It also feeding my soul. There, I feel happy within. Yeah, I'm consuming this food. Wow, lovely, so good. There's no harm. Like I didn't make anybody's harm. I'm so clean in that term. I'm a human, so I'm supposed to eat human food, which is
Hmm.
mean to me. So when once I was child, I drank my mom milk. So I was breastfed. So after that, I don't have any option to get human milk, or we are not supposed to drink human milk. I'm not supposed to eat non-vegetarian food, because nowhere I'm having claws in my hands. Nowhere I'm enough skilled to kill an animal with my own ability, right? So why to go to something else which I should not be doing, rather than what I'm capable of doing and what is made for me? I should be,
Hmm.
taking benefit from that, and that will keep me very light, and I'll be feeling strong,
Hmm.
light, happy, fully energized, young, and I'll be recovering very fast. My stamina will be extraordinary. So that's why. So I cannot, as I told you, I cannot train for 100 kilometers for to run 100 kilometers. So I'll be just training myself. What I can do, I can feed up good thoughts. I can feed up good food. I can feed up good environment, surroundings to me,
Right.
and so that way, for me, like being plant based, it's not just a ritual, or it's not just something that a trend for me. Plant based is something, it's like a lifestyle for me. So through that, I just feel that I'm contributing to the environment. I'm not creating much garbage over there because of my own requirement. So many of cattle are not fed, and so many deforestation is not happening. And on the
Hmm.
other side, I'm not killing any animal, because that is all sentient being. And I'm also feeling clean, that I'm not putting any dead body inside my body, right?
Hmm.
So I'm alive. I like living food in the terms that we thrive on the
Overall,
soil,
it's
on the
better.
earth.
It's better for your
Yeah,
body as well. It's better for the
yeah,
planet, and it's better for the animals. So there's
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
it's kind of a listening to you, like I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer, right? Like,
Yeah, it has to be like accepting a common sense kind of concept, nothing else. So,
yeah.
this is all about veganism. And in my races also it helped me a lot, because I've been recovering very fast. And how I started, I will let you know. Because once I started my doing this endurance running, I told you in 2014 I started. Up to 15, I was struggling a lot. I was very fast, but I was not able to sustain that pace. I was not able to recover. After my workouts and running and every like gymming and doing swimming, cycling and yoga, then too I was feeling so sore. I was so heavy then too. I was always a high on my heart rate. It was like that. My lungs would just pop out. So ultimately, I discovered I started research on something, and I got to know I have to eliminate some foods for a good endurance, good recovery, good speed. So I just and get a good lean body, right? So in today's world, if you are not able to move quickly, you are not able to lift something very fast, you are not able to run. So just having muscles is not going to make any difference, right? You will be just in dead weight. So putting muscles and just sitting on the couch, and because today's time is not to make wars, right? Today's time is to make peace. Okay, nobody is going to send to war. Everybody don't have to be a bodybuilder. So for me, like holistic fitness is like doing everything and enjoying everything and doing it day to day basis. It has to be sustainable. So bodybuilding I cannot be doing in 80 or 90 years. I'll be walking in 80, 90 years, and so many people are already doing that. So while doing this thing, I always felt that yeah, it has to be complete. It has to supplement everything, and not just a complement thing. And I started cutting off all the garbage. Like I was very heavy dairy intaker. So during those days, I started doing experiment with that. I felt good, and ultimately was just going into the line. Then somebody, one of my guests came to my home. He was a foreigner, and he told me, "You want to eat something? So you want to make a tea? You want to eat something?" He just checked my fridge and the entire home and kitchen. He just told me that, "Oh man, you have become plant based." What is that, man? I was not aware of that term even.
Hmm.
So he told that the
So
people who are not
interesting.
eating this thing, they are plant based and vegan. Then
Yeah.
I researching what is vegan. So from there I got to know. Then I got to
Yeah.
know about I'm doing a good thing for myself as well, and I'm a responsible human. So
Hmm.
I'm not consuming dairy that much, and I was never a meat eater actually. And if I am respecting other living being on the planet, that's a good karma. I'm earning good points, right? So that is
Right.
a matter of pride for me. So from there, I decided that ethically I will remain vegan, whether it's about performance or not. I know it's if something is very natural and made for me, it will definitely help me, right? So today, if you eat anything, nutrition will be there, right? So people say that in meat, lot of nutrition is there. I will say yes, there is a nutrition. There is nutrition in the milk also. But what about the adverse effect? And whatever thing you eat, right? Even you eat your shit also, you'll find some leftover nutrition in that also, right? So don't
Yeah.
compare the nutrition. Don't say the nutrition is there. You eat the soil, there also you get nutrition, right?
Hmm.
So it's not about the nutrition, it's about the right thing and how much on what extent the thing is right, you have to accept it. So it's about that. Now coming to the running part, like being a holistic person, doing everything in a day,
Yeah.
making my life surrounded, through running only. So my only purpose was like what other people are doing in other businesses, right?
Hmm.
Getting name and fame, then making good money, having a relaxed life, motivating others also, lifting up other people also, and it like everything comes like your social networking networks also coming up. So I decided before putting up my life into that everything I have to figure out. I know not much people on this planet are doing living this lifestyle. So I have to earn this spot for myself, and I have to let other people also think this is possible. This is possible to make a life through running. Because if somebody is diamond businessman, or somebody is like hotelier, or somebody is like some startup owner, right? So they're having their businesses, they are making life through that. So for me, running is a business now. Running is like a lifestyle. So I have to earn everything out of it. My own happiness, own fitness, own achievements,
So you're not working
then my
any
work.
other job or something like that. You're full
No,
time
no,
doing
nothing.
this thing.
I'm full time. So yeah, since 2017, I am coaching people. I'm helping them out in
Hmm.
elevating their life, leaving them, holistically. They're not just about running, overall fitness, and everything. I
Okay.
guide them the holistic approach, mentally and physically. And apart from that, I conduct some marathon events like ultra marathon on the mountains and in the cities and then the trails, forest, and all. So my whole life, whole day surrounds with this kind of work. So if morning, evening, I'm just training on myself and I'm training my clients after my training. And in daytime, I used to work with my clients. who are like I keep in touch with them, take their feedback. How was the day? How was the morning run? How was your strength and conditioning doing? How much weight you're putting up? How much muscle percentage you're having right now? So what's your plan in the evening? Let us discuss how we are. So for me, it's like one to one, and I feel very excited to work with my clients because training people is my obsession, and living a sporty lifestyle is what I decided for myself. So I love doing this thing every day, every time. See, if I am asked to speak on this subject or something, I'll speak for hours. If I am asked to do something outdoor,
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't feel like I
Hmm.
should be getting comfort of my home or the couch or the sofa or bed. I would say that this is much better than that. When I'll be going
Wow.
out. So working with clients, working with my on my own body, and letting people also have the same feeling is my whole time objective. So
Hmm.
for me, like just running for myself is like 30% in a day, or 70% I do meditate. I eat good food. I go
Okay.
for certain hike, walk, cycling, swimming, a little
Hmm.
bit of calisthenic also. Then I teach my clients, and then I plan for some races. So all that happens like in the entire day, and it's so lovely. It's so fulfilling. If I am I start sometimes I just miss one thing, one step. I crave for that. Yeah, I should be doing this thing today. I missed that. So for me, like watching movie is a different thing. I won't be good in that. My taste doesn't match over there. Going to
Hmm.
theater, watching movie, going out to eat something in the restaurant. Like to self cook. I like to cut vegetables. I like to I like to listen that whistle in my home. So for me,
Hmm.
that is very obsessive thing. I should
So
be preparing
beautiful,
my
man.
lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this thing happening around me, the live cooking I'm doing, the food, how that is boiling, how my coffee just brewing up, and how the kind of experiment I'm doing with diet and nutrition, how I learned till date being a coach and sport nutrition guy. So that excites me to go to another level every time. So that is my like it pumps me up a lot. It motivates me a lot. I don't compare myself to anybody else. Being an athlete, being a coach, being a mentor, or anything else. I just want to live my own life. I want to better myself, and I want to dig out my potential where I am lying and where I have to go. And the treasure the God has put into me, I just want to scratch off all the dust and want to see myself, on the bright light. This is my whole time concept: being the holistic person, being someone who is just having a sporty lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm following you from 3 or 4 months, and your every
Wow, thank
post, everything, whatever you're doing is so inspiring. Whenever I see, like, I'm very enthusiastic about life whenever I see your Instagram and what you're doing out there, like inspiring other people, training these kids, especially like little kids. Like these days, like we have
yeah,
this what they call sedentary lifestyle, right, where the kids are
yeah,
just on their phones all the time and eating fast food, and parents don't understand like what they are feeding to their kids, what kind of poison, right? And so your
yeah,
message is very important, and that's why I wanted to
right,
have you on the show. So
yeah.
what's
Thank you,
next? What's
thank you for approaching.
what's next in Sandeep's life? What's coming?
I'm just building up myself on some more benchmarks. So some races will be coming up. I'll be training clients like in different cities,
Yeah.
and again I'll be traveling overseas in the upcoming months. So it's going to be very busy, and
Hmm.
I have to put a lot of hard efforts. But certainly, I'm very much excited and almost ready to to achieve those goals, because during COVID time and the last few years, I also did my a lot of homework.
Hmm.
So it's a progress. It's like it's a journey. I have to go through that. There will be some shortfalls, but these shortfalls will be very short. I know that I'll
Hmm.
be again, and these are
Yeah.
much needed breaks. Shortfalls are like breaks. So, so good things are coming up, and some good projects I'll be doing in terms of my athletic journey, and helping people also to carry them along with me, and they also feel the next level adventure and milestone they achieve.
Yeah.
And definitely, see, we cannot put everything on social media because lack of time. We have to plan something, but
Mhm.
certainly some representation in every day-to-day life we can put. I'm not much of like social media guy, or I like the real times, on the
Mm.
ground, outdoors, in the real life. So for me, like, doing this thing is not very odd, but I'm not also like an expert, but I also want to let people know that this is also one side of life. This is also one kind of life you can also achieve, and to give something back and to get connected with the community. This is much needed. So I respect this platform, and I also enjoy the attention, respect, followership, and kind of you know uh, uh, accountability it gives to me, and kind of personality it comes with me. That also, again, I would say that it's motivating as well. If something
Yeah.
you are not just for you are if something you are not just doing for yourself, you are doing for others as well. People are looking for you.
Yeah.
Then that's something you have to keep pushing, and you are always on the toes. So I enjoy that feeling. So till that life, we are happy, we are healthy and fit, we are moving. So these goals and everything,
Yeah.
they'll keep on blazing, and I also will feel like never stopping. I have like different version of my life thinking, like in a way that some people just say that, well, however the life is going, just accept it and just manage your life around that and have a peaceful thing. My version is different, that if you won't work on yourself, on the things you won't, you know be the part of that work system, and the energy you put in the universe, you won't be getting what you deserve. So to make your birth uh, reasonably sustainable, and I would say that you are for the right purpose, the reason behind your birth. So it's not diminish. It should be like, yeah, you are here in the earth to make some changes, to bring something new, to be part of the energetic system, not just lying somewhere and talk about monkship and peaceful things. I'm a person who believes in the karma, right? So how our world works. If our world work in sustainable way, it's a big machinery. So every gear, every small screw, we are like screwed or part of machinery or some gear. So if we are not putting ourselves in that uh, system, so how will be participating in that? How will be part of that system? How will What will be delivering? What uh, will be giving back to the system? So just lying away from the system and being spectatorship, it's not for the people who are uh, just who are alive. You're If you are not doing anything, if you talk about peacefulness, your 40s, your 30s, your 60s, all will be same. You are just passing years, right? So achieving something, and see, getting little bit of discomfort, how chow, that is quite common. It has to be. But after getting over them and achieving something, it gives you more peace rather than just being, telling yourself and accepting the situation and feeling the peace. So peace has to come after a war, right? So that war is within our own limitations, and that fight is within us, and we always like to better ourselves. So the
Mm.
reason we choose that, why we are born, for what we are doing on earth, in mid of so many people, the
Mm.
living beings and all. We are here to play some role. So that role is karma. So why to sit idle? Why to accept that I'm like this only? Then what is the purpose of getting birth, right? So if you are in
Amazing.
30s, you are like thinking like this, and your 70s want to be different. So entire 40 days, what you are living, right? So that is a waste of some piece of craftsmanship that God did for us.
Mm. Yeah. And talking to you, somebody might wonder, uh, looking at what you do, like this person might be very aggressive and always out there and blah 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 blah, but you are this. kind, calm, collective human being. So putting it out there, like, it was very necessary. And thank you for sharing in the,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I love that.
how your mind works and
Yeah.
how you think.
We just switch on and switch off our modes. That's it. We know when we have to switch on. So and on that, no, some lack of time, we have to switch it on. So aggression has to come, right?
Mm.
And sometimes we have to switch it off. Like when we are going to sleep, we let our body just say that relax, come on, this is your time to relax and energize. Next morning, you have to again start the war. So
Mm.
let us go in the hibernation. So that way, we have to play with ourselves. We know that there are the modes, there are the different buttons in our body. So sometimes we say that we have to use our emotional intelligence. Sometimes we say that we should use our adrenaline also. Sometimes we say that stay calm and composite, and you have to conserve your energy. So all these things we know. We are grown up. We have read ourselves and society and the people, and we have gone through so many ups and downs. So learning all these things and making them practically possible, and so that's quite obvious that at to get successful, you have to switch on and switch off. And for we our part, we say that the
But most of us
right
like
task.
don't know how to. Either we are like kind of in a
Yeah,
switched on mode. Either we
yeah,
are
yeah,
very aggressive, going out there, uh,
yeah,
kind of trying to like live that kind of hunter gatherer
yeah,
style, right? I'm
yeah.
gonna do whatever, like hurt people or hurt animals to live my life so
Yeah,
I can achieve my
yeah,
goals. And either we are like, if we go on the other tangent, we are like this calm and like monk like personality who doesn't wants to do anything and just wants to
yeah,
meditate all day. So you are
yeah.
somewhere in this between, and you're, how do you maintain this
We are
balance?
always we are always like what I feel that if I want to be a monk, and then there is a sure thing, I want to be adding value to the planet, right? Monk is someone who pray, just worship in the mountains or sit in the forest or somewhere is isolated. Here, people will say that, my term or the thing I am telling here is very immature. Monk is like someone who is little bit selfish because what he's doing for himself only,
So
right?
interesting.
So in the young age, it's in the young age, I don't feel like I should be sitting over there. Monk is inside me also, I know that. And but what value I'm adding if I am totally cut off, isolated from the world, right? So being monk is quite difficult in different sense and quite easy in different sense, right? So
Mm.
somebody is making a balance in the original life, in the house, in the routine work and everywhere. He is a real winner, I would say. He's a real winner. You don't have to compare himself. He has to be very happy and satisfied and uh, proudful that what he is able to achieve in the monk is not doing that. Because people who are able to balance their lives in the cities, the metros, or somewhere, hustling between the things with families, work, and their dreams, and lot many things. So they have to do more. They have to take output of so many things. They have to learn. They have to go back. They have to manage themselves also. Their fear, anger, insecurities. They have to treat. They have to deal with people outside of
Yeah.
their heart, and so there are the different challenges. So the challenges make you great. The amount of challenges you face, right? If you're not facing challenges, that doesn't going to make any difference. So
Mm.
for me, like I'll always want to be involved. I always want to be involved. I want to be a good part player. Well, I don't bother about the results in my life, whether it's running or the normal life or day-to-day lifestyle.
Mm.
However, whatever it is, if I talk about work, if I talk about some friendly relationship, if I talk about uh, anything else related to me and what how I connect with this world, I want to be a player. I want to be working.
Mm.
So that is my ideology. I don't want to be sitting. I don't want if something I see, I am very
Mm.
proactive guy. I will do that. I don't wait that some things will be coming up. I want to be center of this entire world. If something is matching up with me, that thing will be coming. I cannot wait. I'm a
Mm.
person who will just go out and search for what I need and take it up.
And this was everything which I thought it would be. And it was one
Yeah.
of the best conversation I've had in my life, in all these
Thank you.
conversations I've had on this podcast. So
Yeah, fabulous.
thank
Even I enjoyed sharing my experiences, and I am also feeling, motivated for my next step
yeah,
because I'm reminding myself what I want to practice. I'm practicing. So that
definitely.
itself is like some listening to some motivational task, whether it's coming from inside or
Hmm.
outside. So when you're
Right.
reminding ourselves of what the way we want to do, so again that is getting scratched on the scratched on the stone in the harder way.
So you're using yourself as a motivation. That's
Yeah,
another
definitely.
lesson.
I always look up to myself. I always, if I'm not getting something out of me in a proper way, I just, just ask myself. I put questions. I put myself in a framework, and I always like. Sometimes I'm very much aggressive on myself only, and sometimes if I'm doing good, I don't. I know that I achieved something. I don't go to the outside world. I just
Mm.
congratulate myself and tell myself, man, come on, you are the big machine. You are doing something. You are
Yeah.
preparing for the big day, or you itself is a complete person, and
Mm.
you are there.
Amazing. I think like this is the right place to end this. And
Yeah,
there are so
absolutely.
many aspects, so many useful insights in this podcast, and there
Yeah.
are so many aspects of you we can tap into and go on and on and on. And uh,
Yes.
it will be, uh, we will do that someday and come back again because
Yeah. Sure.
you're like the big brother we lack in our life, who is
Yeah.
very
Surely.
brutally honest
Thank you
about
for.
life, and who he's living this his life in this inspiring kind of way, and living not a partial life but this holistic, like living in a holistic way, tapping in all
Sure.
aspects of life. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and please keep inspiring.
Yeah, I would say that keep boiling your blood till then. Stay
Quickly tell
hard.
them like where they can find you and your work.
Uh, yeah, they can see my life holistically on Instagram. Ran Kumar. They can check out my Instagram ID. So
Okay.
almost all my detailed the day detail I put out there.
Yeah. So I'll link that in the description, and the person
Yes,
can
sure.
find
I
it
would
there.
love to connect with love. I would love to connect with people and
Yeah.
deal with them personally. Yeah,
Amazing.
sure. Yeah, thank you for
So
hosting me in this such a beautiful
yeah,
podcast.
it was a
And it was
privilege.
a
It was a privilege,
yeah,
definitely.
wonderful experience. Yes.
Yeah.
See you soon, man. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you soon. Until next
Yeah.
time,
Okay. Take
stay
care.
strong,
Yeah. Sure.
stay
Stay
stubborn,
strong.
and keep on climbing. This was fun, man.
Thank you.